Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. The next day, I'm heading to Sakaki's room in order to drop off a package of hers that arrived in the group mail delivery just now. Normally, I'd just leave it be, but this cardboard box was large enough to protrude dangerously out of the mailbox. I thoughtfully decided to bring it to her directly. Is Sakaki in? At this hour, she should probably be somewhere inside the dorm. There's no sign of her leaving this morning, so her room is the most likely possibility. Sakaki? It's open? The door to Sakaki's room stands slightly ajar. Sakaki is normally pretty careful about her privacy, so this is a distinctly unusual situation. Before I realize it, I'm peeking through the opening into her room. Hey, Sakaki? And in the center of that room, I'm startled to find a spectacle quite unlike anything I've ever witnessed before. Oh, hey. Hey, it did kind of work. Yes. Sakaki. To summarize this behavior in one phrase, out of character would be most appropriate. Or apt. Yeah. Sakaki twirls in front of a full-length mirror she's placed in the middle of her room. Muttering happily to herself, she examines her features one by one, grinning broadly all the while. It's fun seeing her like this, though. It's hard to believe this is the same Sakaki who shot down Makina's operation. Let alone the woman whose approach to social interaction cycles between disinterest, rejection, and the occasional fit of homicidal rage. Is this Dere? Muttering a foolish question to myself, I pull my right foot backward in an attempt to retreat. But the door groans on its hinges and Sakaki spins around to face me. Mail just came. You got a big package, so I came to drop it off. I'll just leave that here. It might be kinder to say I wasn't, but unfortunately I'm an honest man. That was so cute. Is it? Congratulations on the small butt. I see. Okay then. See you later. I close the door and break into a full arm-pumping dash away from the scene. It's not that I'm particularly afraid of Sakaki's attacks, but I don't think there are many people out there who'd willingly choose to get slashed at by a box cutter. I'm certainly not one of them. Especially given the sincere promise of violence in Sakaki's eyes just now. But that's Dere, alright. No matter how slight it may be, no matter how well hidden it is, it's actually kind of pleasant to know that Sakaki does have that side to her personality. Every human being is a multifaceted creature. Seems that rule of thumb applies to Sakaki Yumiko as much as anyone else. Sakake's dare earlier this morning left a strong impression, but there's no time to reflect on that spectacle. Our group trip to the beach is today. Yay! Oh, it's beach time now. Alright. What's more, the weather is absolutely perfect for the purpose. Perhaps someone has been earning some good karma lately. As the group gathers around the principal's car in preparation for the outing, there's a definite sense of anticipation in the air. My classmates are moving around restlessly, unable to control their fidgety, nervous energy.
ねえ、このクーラーボックスはどこに積むの？それはビーチパラソルと一緒に天音さんの車に乗せます。お弁当はちゃんと積んだ？はい、大丈夫です。ちゃんとトランクの中に積みました。トランクなんかで大丈夫なの？熱で腐ったりしない？効果が6時間持続する保冷剤と一緒に入れてありますから問題はありません。それじゃああとはあとは何？なんか忘れてない？大丈夫ですよ。持ち物リストを参照しながら4回確認しましたし、出発前にもう一度最終点検を行いますから。油断してはダメよ。いい。こういう時に限って一番大切なものを忘れてくる。言うなれば忘れ物の天才がこの私。松島みちるだということを忘れないで。そんなことを自信たっぷりに元気よく言われましても。なんだかんだ言って結局チルチルが一番張り切ってるのよさ。
Well, in my experience, the bonds of the world tend to see this sort of event as a good excuse to boss people around. そこ、聞こえてるわよ。Hello there, Machir. Tell me something. You didn't even want to go to the beach in the first place, right? 行きたくないとは一言も言ってないでしょうが。私はただ暑いのが嫌だって言っただけよ。Well, I didn't really intend to criticize you either way. If anything, the opposite seems more appropriate. She was opposed to the idea originally, but instead of sulking over the group's decision, she's accepted with admirable enthusiasm. I guess she's something of a flexible spirit. No way. Approach this from a slightly different angle, and the term simple-minded might be just as accurate. Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself. More importantly, are you sure you have all your personal stuff, not forgetting anything? Have you already completely forgotten what you said 30 seconds ago? いえ、みちる様のお荷物は昨夜のうちに私がご用意させていただきましたので大丈夫かと。I see, but you see, Sachi, Michiru earned the title of Scatterbrain Queen precisely because she's capable of leaving things behind even under such circumstances. Are you sure it's wise to have left her unsupervised? Where are your swimsuits? You do have them, right? それならご心配なく。
忘れないようにすでに服の下に着ていらっしゃいますから。
I see. Good to hear, although that kind of sounds more like something Makina would do.
おうよ、私も下にセクシーな水着着てるのよさ。後で見してあげるのよ。
Oh, that's something to look forward to.
もうね、私のちょっと出っ張った下腹部に視線釘付けで鼻血ブーなのよ。
Under. Well, that irrepressible confidence of yours is a good thing, probably.
みちる様、どうかなされましたか？さっき、もしかしてみちる様。
Hey, now, what's the matter, genius? Don't tell me your prodigious talent for forgetting things has already exhibited itself.
うるさいわね。ちょっとしたミスよ。ちょっと私寮に戻るからここで待ってなさいよ。いい、先に行ったら承知しないんだからね。みちる様、待ってください。私も行きますから。というわけですので、すみません。すぐに戻りますので。
I'm at a loss for words. I think that girl may be even worse than Makina.
もう、さすがの私もあんな忘れ物会の勝ち組と比べられたくはないのよさ。どうでもいいのだけれど、一体いつまで私はこの炎天下の中で待っていればいいのかしら。
It hasn't even been 10 minutes yet. I'm bored already. I'll get you a nice ice cream cone once we get to the beach, so try to be patient a little while longer, okay?
私を子供扱いしないでもらえる？
In that case, maybe she should try not to whine like one, but I decided that actually offering her the suggestion would be more trouble than it's worth.
いいな、アイス。私も欲しいのよさ。
Alright, Makina, you've been a good girl lately. I'll buy you one later. いちご味のやつがいいのよ。Very well. I dropped my hand onto Makina's head in my usual manner. Well then, Sakaki, what flavor do you want?
だから子供扱いしないで。いらないわよ、アイスなんて。
Aw. Yes, you do.
どう？みんなもう準備できた？
No, afraid not. The Queen of Carelessness has returned to the dorm in search of her swimsuit with her maid in attendance. Monty still hasn't returned with the second car either.
松島さんと小峰さんはまだしも、車を借りに行ったのなら、スオさんはもう戻ってきてもいい頃だと思うけど、何かあったのかしら。
Where's she getting a car from in the first place?
いつもの車を借りに行ったのなら、多分学園北部の資材倉庫だから、そんなに時間がかかる距離じゃないと思うけど。
Should I go check up on her?
そうね。もう少し待ってみて、それでも来なかったら様子を見に行ってみましょう。
Well, there's no real need to hurry, I suppose. The sea isn't going anywhere.
海は逃げないけれど時間は経過するわ。私嫌よ、夜の海に入るのなんて。
I wasn't planning to wait around quite that patiently either, but it's better to approach this sort of thing with composure. Rushing tends to create more problems than it solves. Right, here comes a good example. Yay.
知るかよ。
Take a look, Sakaki. This self-evidently dim-witted blonde is a perfect case in point. Desperate with the irrational fear that she'd be left behind, she could always stop thinking. The instant she finished changing, she burst out of her room and dashed back over here, thoroughly embarrassing herself in the process. You see, when people rush, they make stupid mistakes. Life is just full of lessons.
確かに嫌な説得力があるわね。
Okay.
何よ何なのよ。水着着てこいって言ったのはあんたでしょうが。
Just has a swimsuit on. Okay.
っていうか、私の水着姿見たんだから感想ぐらい言いなさいよ。
My thoughts, let's see. My first real thought would be, why are you wearing a school swimsuit? But I get the feeling that might not be the most considerate thing I could say here as a man. When a woman asks for your thoughts, compliment her. Down any other road lies trouble. Another lesson I picked up from my time with that epitome of a troublesome woman, JB. Looks good on you. Very cute.
ああ、そうかい。ありがとよ。どうして怒鳴っているの？この。
I don't fully understand myself, but I get the feeling she's being carried along by her own momentum at this point. Poor girl may already be well past the point of no return.
うるさいわね。放っておきなさいよ。とにかくこれなら水着を忘れることはないわ。
I guess not, but what happened to the street clothes you were wearing earlier? Are you for real? Sorry, but I don't think I can justify referring to you as a tsundere anymore. You're really more of a doofus. You are a clown. Makina will now amuse herself at your expense. Alright, Makina, look at this girl and chortle heartily. Your English hasn't improved either, I see.
ねえ、暑いし、私車の中で待っていてもいいかしら。
Come now, but you're sacrificing what little dignity she has left for our amusement. Why not enjoy her buffoonery a while longer?
いや、別に笑いを取ろうとしていたわけでは。ミチル様、お召し物。遅かったじゃないのよ、サチ。ミチル様が早いんですよ。
Now that she mentions it, you got back here pretty quickly, considering you went all the way to the dorm.
そりゃあそうよ。何せ全力疾走したからね。飛ぶ鳥の目を抜く勢いとはこのことよ。
なんでしょう。いろいろと間違っていて軽くイラッとしますが、とりあえず服を着てください。その格好のままでは公女両族に抵触しかねません。
いちいちうるさいわね。水着なんだからいいじゃないのよ。人をわいせつ物みたいに。まったく。
Problems.
まあまあ、私が着替えのお手伝いしますからね。
あったわよ。
Even as she mutters a constant stream of complaints, Michiru takes her clothes from Sachi's hands, then obediently begins to put them on over her swimsuit. Apparently she decided resistance would be futile.
だいたい私の格好なんて、
Okay.
おっぱい半分放り出して歩い
Alrighty.
た天音の普段着に比べりゃまだマシでしょうよ。
Are we ready to go?
あまねさんはまだいらっしゃられないのですか？
Yeah, if she doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm going to go check on her.
あまねまだなの？じゃあもういいんじゃない？無理してでも学園長の車にみんなで乗れば。
I really don't think that's going to happen. The principal's car seats 5 at most. At the very least, one of us will have to ride with Amane, and... if we want a more comfortable ride, wouldn't it make more sense to have 4 people in the principal's car and 3 in Amane's?
でもアマネの車は2シーターなのよさ。
2-seater? A vehicle with a fixed passenger capacity of 2, so it's a sports car? They may call this place the Money Sink Academy, but it's pretty hard to imagine they'd have a flashy toy like JV's lying around in some dusty garage. Ooh. Does she actually have a sports car? In the next moment, a single white vehicle comes into view, crunching its way across the gravel on the athletic grounds towards us. Behind the wheel, of course, is Suo Amane, and the vehicle she's driving, no matter how you look at it, appears to be a small truck. Oh. That said, it's not a Type 73 Jeep or anything, just a run-of-the-mill mini pickup. Ooh.
やあ、
Oh.
お待たせ。ごめんね。タイヤの空気圧調節してたら遅くなっちゃった。
I see. Well, that's a 2-seater too, I guess. I wasn't really expecting her to pull up in a flashy sports car, but a mini truck is surprising in its own way. It's certainly well suited to carrying all our beach gear. It's probably useful for the school to have around, but...
軽トラだからと侮っちゃいけないのよ。クラス唯一のスーパーチャージャーを搭載した4気筒 SOHC エンジン。前輪はマクファーソンストラット、後輪はセミトレーリングアームの4輪独立剣か。フロントグリルに燦然と輝く6連星は WRC で培われたテクノロジーが惜しみなくフィードバックされた証なのよさ。
Okay.
あとはデフロックがついてれば最高なんだけどね。
The heck are people talking about? A mini truck is a mini truck, right? But even as I'm silently belittling the squat little vehicle, something catches my eye. Michiru, her change of clothes complete, is standing stock still at my side, and her teeth are chattering violently. The Sambar from hell? I don't get it. For a vehicle from hell, it looks an awful lot like your average Nubaru Yanbar. The body's still like new, so I'm having a hard time picturing it as a cursed vehicle whose previous owners died mysterious deaths. But when Amane asks for a companion, there's no immediate volunteer. The others exchange silent looks. What's wrong? Why is everyone avoiding eye contact with Amane?
私も遠慮させてもらうわ。学園長、同情させていただいて構わないかしら。
それは構いませんけど。ああ、ちょっとこーら、何勝手に乗り込んでんのよ。まだ誰が何に乗るか決まってないでしょ。失礼ね。そんなに私の横に乗るのが嫌なの？当たり前でしょ。前に私、あんたの運転するこの車の荷台で死ぬ目にあったのよ。
Hey, Sashi, tell me, is Amane an irredeemably terrible driver?
いいえ、私は乗ったことないですけど、マキちゃんからはとても運転が上手だと聞いていますよ。
Mackie, that a fact?
マネはお家の仕事の手伝いで毎朝市場まで野菜とかお魚を買いに行く仕事をしていたから、とっても運転が上手なのよ。
In that case, why has all the color drained from Michiru's face at the mere thought of riding with her?
そりゃ車が苦手な子もいるのよさ。私今日はチズチズの車がいい。椅子がふかふかしてるし。
Well, it makes sense to have the smaller people sit in the vehicle that has to seat 5 of us. Alright, Makina and Sachi, go ahead and get in the principal's car. Huh. How on earth does Amane drive to inspire such a violent rejection? I don't get it, but there's a siren going off in my mind. My cowardly instinct for self-preservation is screaming, "Don't get in that truck!" I see. Alright, let's decide this with a nice impartial rock, paper, scissors match. That way, nobody's left with any hard feelings. Don't be ridiculous. Alright, here goes. Rock! I have no idea what just short-circuited Michiru's brain, but the instant the word rock was out of my mouth, she vigorously threw out scissors. I was just doing the rock, paper, scissors part. What are you jumping the gun for?
しかも負けてるし。バカな。そんな。こりゃもうあ
あんたの反則負けね、みちる。観念して私の隣に乗りなさいな。
嘘でしょ。3回勝負よね。3回勝負でしょ。
ジタバタしないの。あんたユージより軽いし、あんたが乗った方が運転しやすいから、ほらおいで。
引っ張らないで。死んじゃう。今度こそ死んじゃ
平気平気。今度は荷台じゃなくて助手席だから、ちゃんとベルトしとけばもう落っこちたりしないわよ。ほら行くよ。
So she rode in the back the first time. That is pretty dangerous. She fell off the back of the truck. At that moment, I thought I understood the nature of Michiru's trauma, but I was still badly underestimating the full terror of Amane's driving. I would come to understand the truth later that day. A little while into a pleasant journey to the beach. Our two-vehicle convoy was leading its way down a winding coastal road.
いやー、いい天気だね。絶好の海水浴日和じゃない？ねえみちる、あんた日焼け止めしてきた？今のうちにしておかないと窓側の腕だけ日焼けするよ。
うるさいわね。おとなしく前見て運転しなさいよ。
そんな必死に捕まらなくたって大丈夫よ。今日は学園長の車も一緒だし、のんびり走ってるじゃない。
But just then, a flashy sports car roars noisily up behind Amane's mini truck and begins to tailgate.
なんか元気なのが来ちゃったな。うざいから道譲っちゃおうか。
そうしよう。それがいいわ。相手にしちゃダメよ。いい？
わかってるわよ。
As Amane flips on her turn signal and begins to pull over to the left, the sports car instantly pushes its way past her truck on the right, flashing its hazard lights in greeting. But rather than pulling back into its lane, the sports car continues to power its way forward on the wrong side of the road, jumping past the principal's car as well. The car pushes its way sharply in front of the principal just as she's about to round a curve. She's forced to jam on the brakes hard enough to send up white smoke from her tires, leaving her car shaking unsteadily from side to side.
鬱陶しいから一気に抜きたかったんだろうけど、むちゃくちゃだな。ああいう子ってさ、自分が下手くそだってことに気がついてないんだね。
そうね。車は安全運転が一番よね。
ねえみちる、ああいう子にはあんた下手くそだよって誰かが教えてあげた方がいいよね。
は？ちょっとあまね、やめてよ。何する気？
だから教育？あんまおちょけとると死んでまうぞって教えてあげなきゃ。
やめてよ。
ちょっとだけだってばね。
What are you gonna do? Not waiting for a response, Amane steps on the clutch and begins to downshift. While giving the truck a little gas, she smoothly drops from 5th gear to 4th, then to 3rd. In the next instant, she mashes down on the accelerator.
いっ くぞー。そーれ。
The whine of the supercharger grows all the more shrill. The four-cylinder SOHC engine screams in protest, and the sandbar savagely accelerates as if stung by a whip.
やめて
うるさいな。いいからほら、しっかり踏ん張ってないと頭でサイドウィンドウ割っちゃうよ。
The sandbar quickly flies past the principal's car, the needle of the RPM gauge mounted at the base of the A-pillar, soaring into the red zone within seconds. This isn't safe, I'm on it.
ほら見えた。 1800cc のターボ突き転がしといてケットラに追いつかれちゃダメじゃんね。
ねえじゃないわよ。やめてって言ってるでしょ。追いついて何する気よ。
ケットラにお尻つっつかれればへこむかと思ったんだけど。あらら、県外ナンバーか。譲ってくれる気はないみたいだし抜いちゃおうか。
ちょっと抜くって嘘でしょ。
この先の直線で横に出るよ。
Kashira's piteous, heart-rending screams fall on deaf ears. As soon as she reaches the straightaway, Amane jams the accelerator to the floor. The white mini truck accelerates like a bat out of hell, squeezing every drop of power from its engine. Its tires clawing at the hot asphalt, the sandbar surges forward. With the advantage of its light frame, Amane's truck smoothly pushes its way alongside the sports car in the blink of an eye. Running side by side, the two vehicles rush toward the hairpin curve at the end of the straightaway.
ヘアピン、そのスピードで突っ込んだら死ぬぞ。
嘘やめてよ。
平気平気、任しときなって。こっちのが車重は軽いんだし負けないから。
Why is this happening?
負ける負けないの話してないよね。
ほらビビってアクセル抜いた。ダメじゃん、もっと突っ張れよ。
ちょっとブレーキ。
はあ、ある程度速度乗ってないとコーナーの途中で失速しちゃうよ。クリップはもっと奥に取って。ここ。2速に放り込みながらブレーキで姿勢作ったらアングル決めて、あとはベタ踏み。あらら、参ったな。リアがリフトして跳ねちゃってるよ。このフロントヘビーはなんとかならないのかな。ちょっとみちる、あんた降りて荷台に乗りなさいよ。
無茶言わないでっていうかやめて。横向いてる横向いてるって突っ込んじゃう。下ろして。
平気だって。
In a striking contrast to Amane's carefree, almost bored tone of voice, the guardrail draws steadily closer outside Mitsura's passenger seat window.
落ちる落ちる。
だから平気だってば。アクセル踏んでるうちはちゃんと曲がってくから。 こでビビってアクセル抜いたらそれこそ落っこちるわよ。ほら出口が見えた。あらよっと。おっと立ち上がりで痛恨のシフトミスかっちょ悪い。落ちなかった。
Are we good?
奇跡。大丈夫だって言ってんじゃん。一度姿勢作ってアングル決めたらあとはハンドルから手を離しても勝手に曲がってくんだからさ。見てて。じゃあもう一回やるね。やるなー。ほらほら見てね。ほらほら。
本当に手を離すな。このドアホ。ちゃんと前見て運転しろ。
もうこの時点で自分が進んでいく方向は見えてるし。侵入ミスでライン外して落っこちるときはコーナー入った瞬間にわかるから、心配しなくても落ちる前にちゃんと落ちるよって言うわよ。
Alright, I'm on it.
ちょっとやだみちる、あんた泣いてんの
The sandbar from hell. That white devil is no myth. And Amane, manipulating that demon as though it were an extension of her limbs, makes her way to the beach, burning not only gallons of gasoline, but years off Michiru's life. When our group arrives at the beach by means of the principal's safe, steady driving, we find the two of them waiting for us, their faces studied in contrast. On one hand, Amani sticks her tongue playfully out of her mouth toward us, as if to say, I kinda overdid it. And on the other hand, Michiru stands gazing into the distance with unfocused eyes, looking like the very picture of the Buddhist enlightened soul, as if nothing this world has to offer could ever frighten her again. From my perspective in the principal's car, Mane's sudden acceleration had been a bit of a surprise. But we lost sight of her car almost immediately, so the incident didn't leave that strong an impression at the time. But when Michiru whispered those hoarse, toneless words, I understood that she had known hell and would forever bear the scars to prove it. Why you gotta drive like that, Amane? Blazing sun harsh enough to burn the skin, salty sea air thick enough to choke on. For a bunch of greenhouse flowers isolated in a sheltered campus, occasional stimulation of this sort is probably a healthy thing. Oh, we finally made it to the beach. After unpacking our things from the cars, I set up a beach towel and umbrella to establish a base camp. A few feet away, Michiru sits motionless on the burning sand, limp as a ragdoll. It's all too apparent that the ferocious horizontal G-forces and rapid shifts in momentum she experienced inside Amane's white devil jarred Michiru's internal organs. Her powerless, insipid smile suggests the possibility of brain damage. She resembles nothing so much as a soldier wasting away from dengue fever. Her glazed eyes seem to be fixed on the gate to Nirvana. It's a truly pitiful spectacle. I bite my lower lip and avert my eyes. Michiru, can you hear my voice? I call out to her, but there's no response. Fortunately, in the next moment, an experienced orderly appears to assume caretaking duties.
汁様、まだご気分が優れませんか？
ああ、放っておいてすぐ元気になるから、私のことは置いていって先に。
そうは申されましても、こんな場所でぼーっとしていては熱中症になってしまいますよ。せめて水着に着替えましょう。私が海の家までお連れいたしますから。
わあ、
As Material mews like a dispirited goat, Sachi wraps both arms around her from behind and begins to drag her off across the beach like a sack of potatoes. A familiar scene by this point. Sachi's clearly pretty used to the job herself.
というわけで私たちは海の家で着替えてくるけど。
You need to drive safe for Hermione. Yeah, I'll stay here and look after the stuff.
そう、じゃあすぐに戻るからお願いね。
Got it. As a man, getting down to my swim trunks is a simple matter of taking off my outer clothes on the spot, but I guess girls tend to want more privacy. Of course, I might be pushing it a little bit to refer to the eldest member of our group as a girl. And there's a certain female cyborg among us who would probably respond to the words, "Let's get changed," with an immediate certainly, and instantly begin stripping off her maid uniform. Not to mention the shrimp who'd fling her hands into the air and cheerfully shout, "Take him off for me!" And rounding out the set, a ludicrously top-heavy, totally shameless big sister type who turned putting her on her swimsuit into a free show for every male on the beach. Now that I think about it, Sakaki actually seems like the most normal of the bunch. Weird. That didn't take long. If it isn't Sakaki Yumiko, Mihama's exemplar of normality. No, that's honestly what I think. Basically, you're not much fun, a sober woman, right down to the design of your swimsuit. But that's honestly what suits you best. You look good. Wasn't my intention to make fun of you. I said you look good, didn't I? What's wrong with sober? You're not wearing a swimsuit to get laughs, are you? That look fits you perfectly, Sakaki. Hey, what? Hold on, where are you going all of a sudden? We're not on school grounds today, so everyone's acting as a group. Don't just wander off by yourself. Sakaki, we came all the way out to the beach, right? You can read whenever you want. No, nothing's set in stone yet, but... Hey, I guess a change of location isn't enough to get that girl to play well with others. Why would she be?
ユージが水着を褒めたりするからだよ。
Oh, I see. Incidentally, care to explain that thing? Looking to get laughs.
変かなこれ。
I'm not sure if that's the right word, but just what kind of a swimsuit is that? No, does that thing even qualify as a swimsuit in the first place? Seems more like a few pieces of string.
Ah, 確かに欠陥品かも。これ動くと横から胸がこぼれちゃうのよね。
I think they're supposed to cover your whole breast. That's because you're wearing it so loosely. Why don't you tighten up the top?
それがさ、あんまりきつく縛るとこうおっぱいがボヨッとはみ出すっていうか、なんか無駄にエロくなるっていうか、お歳暮のハムみたいだしさ。
Well, in your case, I guess anything but a sexy swimsuit would have felt like a letdown in terms of character consistency.
でしょ？ねえ、どう？似合ってる？
Well, yes, it's certainly an appropriate choice, to the point that it's hard to imagine anybody but you wearing it. That's really nothing to giggle about. Wait, Amane, you've started snacking already?
ああ、これ？海の家で着替え終わって出てきたら、お店の人がタダでくれたんだもの。焼きとうもろこし食べる？
Tell me, why do you always eat rod-shaped things like you're auditioning for a softcore? Do you really need to lick and slurp your way around it with that dirty gleam in your eye? That's just what he had, I don't know. Just corn.
してるかな？
He had corn. Alright, try eating some, we'll do a little test. Amani's slightly plump lips crawl across the surface of the corn. Every once in a while, with a light pan of breath through her nose, she sinks her teeth in with an expression of ecstasy. Hold it, Amane. Take a look around you. Amani's white teeth peck out from between her pink lips as she separates her mouth from the corn with a wet pop. Looking around her, she finds every male nearby red from ear to ear, stealthily shooting glances in her direction. Because you're eating that thing in a very weird way.
そう？変かな？
誰がどう見てもエロいことしてるようにしか見えないのよさ。
Look, I was tiptoeing around that for a reason. How about a little sympathy for all the poor guys who just jerked their eyes away awkwardly?
んなことよりどう？私セクシーじゃね？
Black, is it? Pretty bold color selection.
黒は女を妖艶に見せるのよ。あまねに選んでもらったのよさ。
へへ、いいでしょう。デザイン一緒で色違いなんだよ。
Well, it's not that big a problem in Makina's case, but I really think you should have chosen something with a little more cloth, Amane.
So?
And even as you speak, your tits begin to fall out of your top.
うわ、やば、こぼれるこぼれる。
As for Makina, your stomach is kind of poking out there, you know.
お、このぼっこりしたお腹が可愛いってあんまねえは言ってたのよ。
下手に隠すより思い切ってお腹出しちゃって黒い水着でコントラストつけた方が目立たないでしょ。
Okay. Well, I guess that is more your style, Makina, so it's all good. Where's that ominous sound coming from? Sounds like something dragging itself across the sand. And that moan of bitter woe. What on earth?
私よ、あた
みちる、ちょっとあんた大丈夫なの？もう少し休んでた方が。
冗談じゃないわよ。せっかく海に来たのに休んでなんかうえ。
Okay.
チルチル、しっかり。海はもうすぐそこなのよ。海。
Ichiro takes one quavering step forward, then crumbles on the spot. Without missing a beat, she begins to crawl her way toward the water, clawing the sandy beach for traction. What is it about the sea that drives her to such lengths? Having come to the beach, I think she feels obligated to enjoy it to the fullest, even if it literally kills her. Before long, Michiru's strength fails her in her valiant struggle. The valiant struggle comes to a halt, lying flat on her side. She begins to gnash her teeth and bewail her weakness. Oh, I like Sashi. He is good.
そうそう、それそれ。卵を産み終えたウミガメのお母さんが海に帰るシーンにそっくりなのよさ。チルチル、頑張って。私、ウミガメじゃないわよ。産んで。だから私はガメじゃないってのよ。
みちる様、何か私にお手伝いできることはないですか？
情けは無用よ。私は意地でも自力で海へ。おお、なかなかの根性な。じゃあチルチルのことはほっといて、私たちはいち早く海を堪能するのよさ。
あ、待ってマキちゃん。若い人は元気があっていいわね。
Come on, Chizuru. You're still young yourself.
またそんな見えすいたお世辞を言って。
What, you don't want my flattery? If so, it's less work for me, so no skin off my nose.
どうしてそういう意地悪を言うんです？
Sorry, that wasn't my real intention. Truth is, I've always been the childish sort of guy who teases girls to try to get their attention. Haven't grown out of it yet. Guilty as charged.
ユージー、ほら呼んでるわよ。行ってきたら。
You aren't going to swim, Chizuru?
私はいいわ。荷物番してるからあなたは行ってきなさいな。
But I'm the one who invited you to the beach. Doesn't really seem right to just leave you alone.
教員相手に真面目な顔してそういうこと言わないの。
Not trying to be pushy here, but my master always told me to give women 2 chances to say yes. Why don't we swim together, Chizuru?
私、泳げないのよ。
Oh, want me to teach you?
嬉しいけど、それはまた今度ね。
Alright, in that case, I'll see you later.
はい、いってらっしゃい。
She is officially our chaperone, and I guess it's understandable that she can't romp around with her students. But we came all the way to this out to this nice beach, right? I don't think anyone would complain if she floated around a bit. But when I look back, the principal is sitting under the beach parasol with one arm wrapped around her knees, fluttering a hand to urge me away. With a small shrug, I turn my back on her and head for the sea. I guess we'll just go over and get in the water. Not a problem, I'll give her a nice pat on the butt later. More importantly, did you need me for something?
ねえユージ、あんた泳げる？
Well enough.
どのぐらいのレベルで？
Kind of hard to say exactly. Let's see, I'm good enough to earn a sea car driving qualification, I guess. When I was in America, I picked up a good number of diving credentials. Even after returning to Japan, I did a bit of rowboat training with a group of combat engineers. I'm nowhere near the level of the specialized divers from the Special Ops branch, but for more typical purposes, there shouldn't be any problem with my ability to handle myself in the water. It's been a while since I last swam in the ocean, but I don't anticipate any difficulties.
じゃあさ、マキナに水泳を教えてあげてくれないかな？
I don't mind, but my lessons tend to be pretty severe, you know. How about you teach her instead, Amane?
いや、私もできればそうしたいんだけどね。
What? You can't swim either?
泳げないっていうか、泳ぐと水着が脱げちゃうっていうか、ポロリとこぼれちゃうというか。
For future reference, a swimsuit should generally be something you're actually capable of swimming in.
私も油断してると海オツがポロリしちゃうのよさ。
Yes, because the cloth barely has anything to catch on. The same problem might put you know no shame, shrimp.
失敬だな。これでも一応脇の下の全肉寄せ集めてんのよ。
Can you explain to me how I'm supposed to teach the girl anything when her swimsuit's going to fall off after a few strokes?
だからさ、軽くコツみたいなものをゆるっと教えてあげればそれでいいのよ。今日は遊びに来てんだから、あんま本気にならないでいいんじゃない？
Such carelessness has led many to a watery grave.
そうやって何でも真剣に向き合うのは悪いことじゃないけど、たまには何も考えずに遊んでみたらどうなの？
easier said than done.
まあまあ、とりあえず浮き輪もあるし沖まで行こうよ。そしたら触らせてあげるのよ。
Are we gonna go swimming yet? And why would I do that?
じゃあ私のも触らせてあげるからさ。ほらほら。
Hey, you're pushy, woman.
貧乳だけどツンと上を向いたあたい。
巨乳な上にエロい値。
さあどっち？
I'm not going to decide anything.
つまり両方欲しいと。
もうお兄ちゃんったら欲しがりね。エッチ。
Say what you want.
海にたどり着けないならせめて砂遊びだけでも満喫してやるんだから。
よろしいのですか？
何がよ。
みちる様がそうして砂と戯れている間に風見さんはおっぱいにつられていってしまいますよ。
立って歩くこともできない状態で私にどうしろってのよ。
一言手を貸せと申し付けいただければすぐにでもお力添えできますが。
いいわよ。どうせ胸じゃあまねには勝てないし。
わかりました。みちる様がそこまでおっしゃられるのであればこの小峰幸喜んでみちる様の砂遊びに加わらせていただきます。
幸、こんなウミガメにも劣る私に優しくしてくれるなんてあんたやっぱりいいやつだったのね。
私のことはいいんです。それより頑張って原寸大プラハ城を作りましょう。
私も頑張ってプラハ城を作る。って原寸大？
プラハ城は現在のチェコ共和国にあるお城で長さは約570メートル、平均幅は約130メートルで世界で最も古くて大きなお城の一つとしてギネスブックにも載っています。
それ作れるの？
大丈夫です。お城の外観は完璧に覚えてきましたから。
いや、そういう問題じゃなくてね。
さあみちる様、まずは下地となるフラッチャニの丘の再現から始めましょう。
Oh, is she actually gonna build a sandcastle?
お願いだから
Ooh.
作る
I
の
wanna
は
see.
簡単なものにして。
ねえ、もうだいぶ沖まで来たんだしそろそろいいんじゃない？
Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's begin the swimming lesson.
あ、そっち？
What's that supposed to mean? It is what we're out here for.
まあいいけど。
Okay, Makina, tell me, can you put your face underwater?
おい、そんぐらいは寮のお風呂で毎日やってんのよさ。あまね、ちょっと浮き輪持ってて。
いいけど何すんの？
見よ、必殺だるま浮き。
だるま浮きって何？
What? You don't know it? You learned that float in elementary school swimming class.
え、そうなの？うちの地元じゃそんなのやらなかったけどな。
どうなのよ。
Alright then, can you pull off a jellyfish float?
今度はクラゲ？
Where the turtle float involves pulling your knees to your chest. The jellyfish float has you dangle your limbs loosely down, like the corpse of an Indian soldier carried along the Higachi River.
なんとなくわかるけど、他の言い方はなかったのかな。
Alright, Makina, try to feel the bitter regrets and stubborn pride of a freedom fighter, gunned down by the colonialists before your dream of an independent nation could be realized. Whatever works, Yuji. Okay. Yes, good.
何がいいのかさっぱりわからないし、これって楽しいの
Okay, next up we'll do a dead man's float. Tuck your chin toward your chest, extend your limbs straight out, and keep yourself horizontal. Consciously keep yourself slim and streamlined, like you've become a submarine. Oh, looking pretty good. However, your butt's floating up a bit. Maintain short blow. Take her down 16, up periscope.
あのさ、泳ぎを教えてるんだよね。
Yes, what about it? Look at that, she's maintaining a beautiful horizontal. If you can float this well, it's just as good as swimming.
そうかな。
You seem dubious, Amane, but can you do the same? I kind of get the feeling you wouldn't be able to keep up this level of a float. Oh, yeah, with those oversized ballast tanks.
何よそれ。
パイオツのことなのよさ。なんかお風呂に浮かべたザボンのようにでかいからバランス悪いのよ、きっと。
ああ、確かに足の方から沈むわね、私。
なんかさっきから顔出したまま平泳ぎしてるけど、もしかしてあんまね潜れない人？
いいでしょ、潜れなくても泳げれば。
ハマ姉は脂肪が多いから沈まないのよさ。
脂肪って言うな、もう。
Meanwhile,
寂しい。ねえ榊さん、あなたさっきからそうしてずっと本を読んでいるけれど海には入らないの？
ええ、自分から進んで入ろうとは思いませんね。
どうして？誰かが誘ってくれるのを待っているの？
別にそういうわけではありませんし、誘われたところで何らかの理由をつけて断ると思います。
せっかく海に来たのに。
そうおっしゃられる学園長はなぜ海に入らないのですか？
私泳げないのよ。さすがにこの年でイリスさんと一緒にバタ足の練習をするわけにもいかないでしょ。
つまり技能的な問題で海には入れないというわけですね。
まあそういうことになるかしらね。
私は精神的な問題で海には入りたくないんです。
精神的というと海に何か嫌な思い出でも？
いいえ、温室育ちを自白するようで恥ずかしいのですが、ただ単純に海はなんだか不衛生な気がして入りたくないんです。
それはなんだかわかるような気がするけど、だったらどうして海に行こうって話が出た時に反対しなかったのかしら。
通に仲間意識というか、これでも一応わがままなお嬢様と思われないような努力をしているつもりです。
一人で反発して品縮を買うのも嫌だし、かといって仲間外れにされるのもごめんこうもると。
そうです。
うん
おかしいですか？
いいえ、ただあなたを見ているとなんだか昔の自分を見ているようで面早いわね。
子供じみた真似をしているという自覚はあります。笑わないでください。
笑ってなんかいないわ。でもそうね、あなたには必殺の言葉を教えてあげましょう。
必殺？
ええ、必殺。
うん
私が学生の頃友達に教わったのだけれど、結局一度も口にしたことはないわ。
一度も口にしたことがないのに必殺なんですか？
え、だからあなたが試してみてくれない？
は
遊んだ遊んだ。たっぷり食べてお腹が減ったのよさ。晩ご飯まだ？
今
Yay, we had
旦
fun,
那さんがお
right?
肉と野菜を買いに行ってるからもう少し待ってね。夕飯はバーベキューよね。本当に私は何もしないでいいの？はい、お任せください。
ちょっとバーベキューはいいけどご飯は？私晩ご飯はお米がないと満足しないわよ。いろいろ体力使っちゃったからね。
それなら大丈夫です。今あちらで風見さんが飯盒でご飯を炊いてますから。
ああ、そうならいいけど、あいつちゃんと炊けるの？結構上手なのよ。へえ。
風見くん、何か手伝うことはあるかしら？
Huh. Oh, Sakaki? I'm fine. Nothing to worry about here. I'm used to cooking rice outdoors.
飯盒一つなのね。
It's round, unlike the elliptical military models, so it can cook a full meal for 5. Even split between the 7 of us, it'll be around 235 grams each. A typical bowl of rice is maybe 150, so there should be more than enough.
そうね。
What is it? Still needing me for something?
そうじゃないけど、私がいると邪魔？
You're not in my way, but this isn't exactly interesting to watch, you know.
ええ、分かってる。
You're a strange one.
あなた、何でもできるのね。
Well, pretty much anyone can handle cooking rice in a simple aluminum mess kit.
見ていたけど、あなた泳ぎも随分と達者なようね。
Well, as much as the next guy, I guess. It's probably because I've spent so much time in harsh circumstances, where the ability to cook rice and swim competently are simply prerequisites for survival. But neither of these strikes me as anything worth boasting about. Now that I think about it, it's been a while since the last time I swam in the sea for fun.
なんだかあなたアウトドアとか好きそうじゃない。普段は山が多いのかしら。
No, it's more than that. I've spent time in the sea for work, but it's been longer since I took a swim for pleasure. Let's see, I guess the last time was a summer camp back when I was in middle school.
あなた中学校はアメリカだったのでしょ。
Yeah, but either way, it's probably a little different from the sort of camp you're imagining, Sakaki.
どう違うの？
That's a little hard to explain, but... Alright, so at the end of my 6-month first term at that school, there was an exam to determine whether we'd be promoted from reserve court student candidate to reserve student. One day, our instructor gets the group together and says, "In 1 week, you'll be taking a cruise to a southern island for a week of relaxing fun in the sun." A cruise might sound nice, but we were getting crammed into a ship carrying a bunch of reserve candidates from another branch. The boat was taking them out for naval training and dropping us off pretty much as an afterthought. So anyway, on the way to our destination, we stopped by a port to resupply on fuel. It happened to be a Navy base, so a bunch of students like us weren't allowed off the ship. They kept us waiting for hours at the mouth of the harbor. We arrived at the port in the morning, but we were still sitting there late in the afternoon. It was just about this time of day, actually. So the sun starts to go down, and we're still standing in the mouth of the harbor with our anchor dropped. No idea how long they plan to keep us waiting. Might be here all night, you know. So we started preparing dinner. But of course, we're talking about making food for 100 people all at once. When the ship's sailing, the ventilation's fine, but when you're sitting there anchored, that's not the case. The warm air from the cooking made the interior of the ship unbearably hot in no time at all. Our entire cruise group, along with all the naval guys who were on duty, came out on deck in a desperate attempt to get a little cool, but this was a southern island right near the equator, so it was hardly any improvement. At that point, our squad leader pressed the instructors for permission to swim and managed to get the okay, so everyone jumped into the sea from the deck and played around for a while. Yeah, I guess so.
だってその後キャンプに行ったのでしょ。そこでは遊泳はしなかったの。
Didn't really have the time to play around at that camp. They dropped us off at some uninhabited, anonymous island surrounded by rocks. There wasn't a decent bit of level ground on the entire barren island, let alone a sandy beach. They loaded us on a launch with our personal equipment and some chickens, then dropped us off there for our fun in the sun. Live ones, as rations. The place didn't have much in the way of water, let alone food, so they released 20 birds. Told us to do what we wanted with them, capture them and make them lay eggs, snap their necks and eat them raw, whatever. You'd think people do give up and fail the tests, but it was pretty rare for anyone to die, so our instructors always said it was practically a vacation. Hmm.
少なくとも私には絶対に無理だわ、そんな環境。
Yeah, you don't seem like you'd be particularly good at that sort of thing. Huh.
そうね。ものの数時間で値を上げる自信がある。
Now that I think about it, maybe I should apologize for making you tag along on our little outdoor expedition today.
気にしないでね。
You ended up not going into the water, though. Looked like you were reading the whole time. Kind of wasted your time, didn't we?
いつもと違う環境というのはそれなりに価値があったと思うし、そもそも本当に嫌だったら最初から来ないよ。私はそういう女よ。
True enough.
でも
But
あなたがいなければ私は来なかったわ、きっ
I see, so it's my fault after all. Sorry, Sakaki.
と。いや、そういうことではなくて。
おーいユージー、お肉と野菜買ってきたよ。ご飯はもう炊けた？
Yeah, it'll be cooked soon.
じゃあさ、そっち終わったらこっちのかまどに火を起こすの手伝ってくれる？
Fine, I'll be over in a minute. So, what were we talking about again?
もういいわ。
If you say so.
これが必殺ね。
What are you talking about?
学園長が未だに独身の理由がなんとなく分かったような気がしただけよ。
What? Where's this coming from?
なんでもないわ。
I've come to believe that the desire to talk in cryptic circles may be a defining characteristic of the female gender. It seems Takaki is no exception to the general rule. See, it's nice to just go to the beach and have a good time to relax. I do like those moments. By the time we finished off our barbecue dinner, the day is beginning to grow dark in earnest. All of a sudden, Amani snaps her fingers, trots off to her mini truck, and opens the passenger door.
ね、花火やらない？
Fireworks?
うん、さっき買い出しに行った時、ついでに買っておいたの忘れるところだったわ。ねえ、あまね、
Wow.
ロケットは？ロケット花火ないの？ロケット花火は音が大きいし、ゴミの回収が難しいから禁止よ。花火といえばロケッ
This
ト
is a good
でしょ
visual
うよ。
novel.
なんで買ってこないのよ。あんた去年の夏も同じこと言って危ないからやめなさいって言ったのに、ロケット花火の大量同時点火して自爆したの覚えてないの？去年は去年、今年の私を去年の私と同じだと思ったら大間違いよ。何がどう変わったのかさっぱりわからないけど、とにかく今年は禁止。おとなしくドラゴンでもやってなさい。何よー、ねえちょっとユージ、あんた男なんだからわかるわよね。花火といえばロケット、爆発しないで何が花火よ。 そう思わない？
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of explosions. I'd rather stick to safe fireworks. Psychological trauma might be overstating things. But when there's a sudden barrage of harsh cracks and pops nearby, I can hear the screams of ghosts spurred into my ears a long time ago. And when someone sets off a flashy skyrocket in the dark night sky, it's hard to resist an instinctive urge to throw myself flat to the ground and crawl for cover. Unlike the distinct sugary sweet smell of Semtex and HMX, the odor of fireworks is reminiscent of gunpowder, so every time I catch a whiff, memories of the muddy jungle flood back into my head, and I recall the taste of blood like scorched iron on my tongue. Can't help but slightly furrow my brow. I really like how Sakaki looks here. Come to think of it, you're strangely quiet, Makina. I think this sort of thing would be right up your alley. Yumiko looks really pretty.
興味はあるけど、花火やったことないのよさ。ちょっと怖いのよ。
Don't worry, the ones you hold in your hand are perfectly safe. Want to give it a try? The skyrocket statue ended up preparing faintly color the night sky one after another, burning light after images into our retinas. This time, the sharp aroma of hydrogen sulfide that reaches my nose doesn't seem as bad as all that. Probably because of the smiles and laughter of my classmates as they watched the sky at my side. I wish this could last forever. Will that childish hope vanish as quickly as the blaze of a firework in the night? Even then, I don't think I'll forget this moment. I don't think I'll ever forget that there was a time in my life when everything was peaceful and warm. And as long as I have that memory, I think I'll be able to go on living. This is probably it.
花火の後片付け終了しました。
Wow. Bye.